In this video, we dive into the early 80s Thundar the Barbarian animated series. My name's Tim Frady, author of the time travel novel series The Time Cruisers, which is on sale at Amazon. I'm also known as the TV Crazy Man, well, because I'm crazy for classic television, not to mention old comic books, movies, and just classic pop culture in general. So please keep watching as we start with the basics and get deeper and deeper into the history of Thundar. Find out how close we were to having a Thundar the Barbarian comic book series. And was Thundar ripped off from an earlier book in 1971? Thundar the Barbarian was an awesome Saturday morning animated series created by Steve Gerber and produced by Ruby Spears Productions. The series ran for 2 seasons on ABC from October 1980 to September 1982 and was rerun on NBC in 1983. Thundar is set in the future ruins of America in a post-apocalyptic wasteland of Earth that is ruled by evil wizards. In this alternate Earth future, the moon was broken into 2 pieces. The shattered moon and the ruins of the former human civilization were caused by the passage of a runaway planet between the Earth and the moon in 1994, which from scenes shown in the opening sequence caused radical changes in the Earth's climate and geography. Earth and Moon settle into a new balanced state. Earth is reborn with a world of savagery, super science, and sorcery far more chaotic than old Earth. Isn't that funny how 1994 used to seem like such a long ways off? The hero of the show, of course, is Thundar, who is a heroic barbarian who carries a sun sword that is very similar to a lightsaber from Star Wars. Thundar's friends are the lovely Princess Ariel and the monstrous Ukla the Mock, who also reminds me a little of Star Wars. He sounds a lot like Chewbacca and looks like him just a little bit, at least, except with shorts. Now that I think about it, why did Mock, who was completely covered with hair, wear those shorts? If he was going to wear clothes, why didn't he just at least wear pants? According to the series creator Steve Gerber, the network insisted a Wookiee-like creature be added to the series, and he got the name while walking past the UCLA campus. His friend said, "Hey, why not call him Ukla?" Kind of like Ukla, like Uzi. Yeah, well, anyway. So thus was born Thundar's best pal. Now, Jack Kirby, the guy who's credited with creating some of Marvel Comics' biggest heroes in the 60s, worked on the production design for the show along with Alex Toth. Princess Ariel could do magic and was the stepdaughter of an evil wizard named Sabian. She was an expert on Earth's history by reading his library. She would always explain to Thundar what was what whenever they ran into something from Earth's past. You know, like a helicopter or rocket, whatever case may be. Now, she could make energy blasts, which was cool. And she seemed to like Thundar a lot, but being a Saturday morning cartoon, Thundar never really could return much in the way of affection, but he is shown on the series to be very protective of her. So after the first 2 seasons, the network wanted to make room for Laverne and Shirley in the Army / Mork and Mindy cartoon. So Thundar moved to NBC, where he was shown in reruns for at least 1 season. Now who in the world thought that replacing a unique series like Thundar with a Laverne and Shirley cartoon was a good idea? Now, Fonz and the Happy Days Gang was a great show, and so was the live version of Laverne and Shirley, but a cartoon, I mean, it just, I never watched it. But, now, I did watch Fonz and the Happy Days Gang cartoon because, well, the Fonz was cool, of course, and there was time travel. I just can't resist time travel. Now, according to writer Mark Evnar, I hope I'm saying that right, there would have been a 3rd season if Gary Marshall, who in 1982 was the most powerful man around ABC because he was, in charge of Happy Days and Mork and Mindy, Laverne and Shirley, all those big shows. If he had demanded the network clear a half an hour in their Saturday schedule for a Mork and Mindy, Laverne and Shirley cartoon, well, then it probably would have got another season. Now, Thundar managed to get 21 episodes in 2 seasons. But what about that comic book series? Well, according to Mark Evner, who worked on the TV series, there was a statement that ran in Amazing Heroes magazine in 1981 that said Whitman Comics will be adding a substantial number of titles to its lineup in 1982. Most of these will be revivals of old titles. although there will also be one new adventure title, Thundar, based on a popular Saturday morning cartoon show, and 3 mystery fantasy titles, Shroud of Fear, Astral Frontier, and Shadow Play. Now, Whitman was Gold Key Comics. Now, I remember when I was a kid, if it was on the newsstand, it came with a Gold Key Comics label. And if it was in one of those plastic packs, where you get 3 comics, it was always labeled Whitman. Now, Whitman also packaged other comic book company books like Marvel and DC. Anyway, that Thundar book obviously never happened. Now, he went on to say that apparently there were Thundar books finished, but Whitman was going under basically at that time. So apparently, even though they were finished, they didn't get them published. And they were drawn by Winslow Mortimer, and they were scripted by John David Warner. Now, he also went on to say that there were rumors that there was one mini comic with limited circulation that had been printed, but he had never seen it. Now, what about that 1971 book Thundar with 1 R? The book was entitled Thundar, Man of Two Worlds. It was written by John Bloodstone, aka Stuart J. Byrne. Now, I haven't read the book, but I have read articles from others who have. And yes, there was a book published in '71, and it was about a barbarian-looking kind of guy who looked, a little bit like Thundarr the Barbarian. But this dude time traveled to the distant future where a cosmic event had created a post-apocalyptic future. But from what I read, that's about where the similarities end. Now, one article claimed that there was a sidekick named Mog, much like Ukla, and another stated that there was a creature in the book named Mog, but it was a totally different kind of thing. It was a 50-foot tall monster and was not a sidekick of any kind. If anything, I read that the book was very similar to Edgar Rice Burroughs' type of adventures. But so was it a ripoff? So was the cartoon series a ripoff of the book? Probably not. I mean, it could have been one of the influences on the creation of Thundar the Barbarian cartoon series, but that's very possible. But there really isn't anything completely original after all. I mean, there's only various ways to remix ideas into something new. It's kind of like mixing ingredients to create a brand new food dish. Oh, and Thundar the Barbarian is on DVD, and you can get a copy on Amazon, and I'll try to put a link at the bottom in the description. And if you click on that link, it kind of helps me out a little bit. I get a little bit of a commission from Amazon for that, so appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, and keep in mind that I'm working on a comic book right now that actually has a lot to do with a post-apocalyptic future, just like Thundar the Barbarian. But in this case, my hero travels from space and lands in the future, and he's from a totally different planet. So the character's name is Liberty Ace, and I'll probably make another video or 2 later giving more details about the story. But anyway, just please keep that in mind, and thanks, and have a great day. Please subscribe, hit the bell for future notifications. Thank you very much.